All right, quickly, I want you guys to put in the chat. If you are new to business analysis, I want you to put yes in the chat quickly for me. Quickly, like you're new to business analysis. I want you to put a yes in the chat. Now, if you are not completely new, I want you to put a one. Put a one in the chat if you're not completely new. But if you're completely new, I want you to put a yes in the chat for me. I came here for everybody. I came here specifically for those who are new, and I also came for those who have some idea, but we need some fresh perspective. Okay, so I believe that I am here with the right set of people. So thank you, Toby. Thank you, Krista. Thank you, Sylvester. Thank you, Yodita, Sabe, Betty, Ifan, every one of you, I see you. Thank you for the response. Appreciate it. Okay, so please, in the next 1 hour, the next 1 hour, I know you are not able to talk. There will be a time I'll ask you to talk, okay? Please give me one thing, one favor. Listen carefully. One of the attributes, okay? One of the features of a good BA, in fact, I take that back. One of the most critical features of a great BA is listening. And I'm going to talk about that tomorrow when I talk about competencies. Okay? I will talk about that briefly. Listening is a core piece. In fact, today I was filling a reference. Today, I was filling a reference. And in that reference, they asked me about the communication skill of this particular student. And typically, like I always do, the first thing I talk about is listening. Listening. That's the first thing I talk about. So please do me a favor and make sure that you listen carefully. Now, Amma has dropped the WhatsApp group. So please, you can join that. If you're not there, you will get the reminder. You also get it there. Okay. All right, let's start. Now, I love to start with the concept of change. I love to start with what I call the concept of change. Now, when we go a bit deeper into the conversation, you will understand why. When we go a little bit deeper, sometimes, and it's the same thing in life. If you realize the way life is, most times you do not understand certain things and why certain things are happening to you at that time until you take a few steps into the future, right? And then in retrospect, you now begin to say, wow, I see why that happened. You get me? So right now, just know that this is the best place to start. Now, as a trained teacher that I am, I love to start from the known, and then I take you into the arena of the unknown. That is one of the best ways to help the students learn. So I'm going to start with something that you know, something that you're comfortable with. And then I'm going to gradually move you into the arena that you came here for. Okay? The arena you came here to discover. Is that okay? All right? So please, make sure you cooperate with me. So let's go. I'm going to be showing you a set of slides, and I want you to observe those set of slides. Okay? Now, this is the first set of slides. It shows a particular location that some of you may be familiar with because of some of the landmarks in the picture. It shows the time from 1991, and it shows a time in 2014. I think I should update this to 2024, but this was what it looked like in 2014. Now, please observe. This is also a slide that shows an interesting character. Some of you know this character. I can categorically tell you that the difference between the person on the left and the person on the right is time. and maybe a few things in between. But it's the same person in both things. Same person. Please follow me. Some of you are good science students will probably remember this. And I know something is ringing in your head right now, right? But please observe. I just want you to observe. And then here we go. At least some of you are old enough to know. Funny enough, I am in Starbucks. I am teaching you from Starbucks. So you can see that the logo of Starbucks that you know today is not what it used to be. The same thing with Pepsi, McDonald's, and then CIBC, Amazon, Federal Express, which we now call FedEx. So I just want you to do this observation, and I want you to, this observation, I want you to soak in, okay? Just take it in very, easy. Okay, then look at this. Look at this. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Okay. Now, in one word, what did you observe so far? It could be any of the slides. I want you, without saying change, because I know some of you, because you've heard change, you want to put change in the in the chat. Without saying change, I want you to put what you observe in the chat quickly. Please use your word. Wow, lovely. Thank you, Ada. Ada says upgrade. Somebody said growth. Another person said transformation, evolution, innovation. You guys are wonderful. Technology, progress. I love this. You see, nothing warms my heart more than a responsive audience. I love a responsive audience. They bring, they let me say all the goodies. There's a way you don't interact with the teacher, and the teacher doesn't, he won't even give you all the goodies inside him. But when I see an interactive audience, I can stay there till 12 a.m. Thank you so much. So some of you are saying evolve, some of you are saying improvement, innovation, progress, transformation. Wonderful. This is wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So growth, rebranding, upgrade, facelift, metamorphosis, reconstruction, remodeling, transformation. You can go on and on. But you see, we can represent everything we have said with the one word called change. You see, all that we have said, we can represent it with one word, and that word is called change. If you agree with me, put yes in the chat. If you agree with me that all those things that you guys have said, transformation, progress, improvement, evolve, we can actually represent it with the word thing. Okay, that is fine. So it means that we are on the same page, right? We are on the same page. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Now, let's start from, remember I promised you that we're going to start from the known, right? Now, do you agree with me that change is inevitable? Do you agree with me on that? Do you agree that change is inevitable? Yes or no? Do you agree with me that change is inevitable? So whether you decide to change or not, change will happen. So whether you decide to go and to mow your lawn or to cut your grass, whether you decide to do it or not, there will be some type of change that will happen. Weeds will grow. Whether you decide to go with the trend of tech or you decide to stay in your repetitive job, tech will still take over. AI will still take over. You see, analytical skill will still stay at the top and rank top when they are looking for candidates. Communication will still stay at the top when they're, you see. So if you don't have those things, you need to change, you need to move. So change is always happening. Why? Because it is inevitable. And that is why you will hear that change is constant. You hear some people say, oh, change is the constant thing. How many of you have heard that before? Change is a constant factor. Change is a constant. It's because change is inevitable. So whether you choose to change or not, change will happen. Let's move away from that. Now, the companies you are looking to go and work for, you see that company you are eyeing. They are driving change every day. Even the one that you are working for now, that you are not satisfied with, they are undergoing change in one form or the other. It could be in the form of digital transformation or acceleration. It could be in the form of upgrades to their current services or products. It could be in form of launching a new product, launching a new service. It could be in form of rebranding. It could be in form of policy development. It could be in form of some organizational changes. It could be in form of process improvement. It could be in form of entering a new market because they saw a new opportunity. And I can keep going on and on and on and on. Think, has there been any change in the company you're working for right now? Think about it. In that company where you worked for, I don't care if you were a janitor, but from an operation standpoint, did you think that in 10 years nothing changed? Really? So, as long as there is change, there will always be the need for a BA. Write that down. As long as there is change, there will always be the need for a BA. Now, some of you are saying, but that's not true. Listen, relax. When I say business analyst, I don't mean the title. And that's one of the things I'm going to show you today. That when I say business analyst, I do not mean the title. I mean the job functions. And let me shock you. Even in the future, Elon Musk robots will not be able to replace a BA. You know why? Because a BA will have to interact with stakeholders and communicate based on what he receives from their mind. All right? A BA, his job function is such that he needs to think, he needs to plan, he needs to work with, all the things that are actually. Now, yes, they may be able to program robots that will do certain things, but they will not be able to completely eradicate the work of a BA. All right, let me move away from that. Today is not the topic. That's not the topic for today. So let me move away from that. Now, let me help you understand change. Now, some of you may say, "Well, Michael, I came here for business analysis. Why are you beating around the bush?" I just want you to relax. Remember, I asked you to please give me 1 hour of your attention, and I will help break this down. So please, if you can just do that, I will lead you to where business analysis is. Do you get me? That's my aim tonight, to lead you to where business analysis is, where business analysis really is, and where you will never forget it again. Never, ever. Now, let's talk about change. Change occurs in one of two ways. From my over 10 years of working in this space, I have been able to categorize change as any one of these two things. When a change occurs, it's either you created something new or you modified something that was already there. I repeat, when change occurs, it's either you are creating something new, and that should be taken in context. Please listen to that. Taken in context, because business analysis is done in context. So it's either you are creating something new or you are modifying something that already exists. Okay, let me break that down for you. Let me give you an example. For example, during COVID, we got to a point where in-person transactions there was an embargo on in-person transactions, meaning, you could no longer go into stores to do in-person transactions. So most of the transactions and most of the dealings had to move online. Now, imagine a business that was never online, never transacted online. All they did was in-person transaction. Now, when they had that, they decided they wanted a website, a functional website. So they reached out to, people that can help. And then they created a website. My first question to you is this. Is the concept of a website a new thing? Is the concept of a website, is that a new thing? Yes or no? The concept of a website, is that a new thing? I'm asking a question. Oh, no, it's not a new thing. Thank you. Now, for this business, let's call it business A. Is the website a new thing? For this business, is the website a new thing? Yes or no? Yes. Good. So you can see that while the concept of a website is not new, building that website for this company that never had a website actually can be said to be new. So we created something new for that company. Now, how many of you have had to fix something in your house before? You had to fix something in your house. How many of you? Just say I. Just say I. You've had to fix something. Okay, you had to fix something. Did you, and you had to get somebody like a handyman. Okay, did you have to get like a handyman to do it for you? Did you get a handyman, right? Now, when the handyman came to your house, let's assume that it was the washroom that had a problem. It was a plumbing problem, a plumbing problem. When the handyman came, did he dash into your washroom and started looking for what to solve, started solving the issue? Is that what he did? Yeah? No. So what did he do? He met with you first, right? Interfaced with you, and then tried to understand what you needed, right? What you need. Is that not what happened? He tried to understand the problem. He tried to understand what is wrong with the faucet. Okay, what exactly are you experiencing? Oh, you can't flush, it doesn't flush properly, or the water doesn't drain properly. The first thing he will do is try to understand the problem you're going through. And if he has different ways of fixing it, he's going to give you the alternative. Oh, trust me. From where I come from back home, we have this group of people. They are very enterprising. They will give you three alternatives. And they say, Oga, this one costs $20. But if they look for premium, this one is $30. But if they look for Gapata of them all, it costs $50. Now, for those of you who don't understand Gapata of them all, just consult the Oxford Dictionary. You'll find it there. Okay? Don't worry, I'm joking. Just think about it as the scale of quality. Just think about it as scale of quality. So, what am I trying to say here? When the new website was to be built for business A, the person who built it did not just go into action and start coding. There was a process. Questions were asked. What do you want? What do you need? Tell me what you want me to do. And then they gathered what is called requirements to be able to create this change. Okay. Take that and put that at the back of your mind. I'm going to come back to that. So let's go back to change. Change can occur in one of two ways. One, creating something new. Number two, modifying that which is already there. For example, if a plumber comes to your house, he may likely change one or two things, modify what was there, He may not completely build a new set of, washroom. He may not completely give you a new set. Or if you already had a website during COVID, but they couldn't make payments on your website, guess what will happen? What you will do is to ask them to modify the website so that there is a payment gateway through which people can make payments. Is that not? So either way, a change has occurred. I want you to put this at the back of your mind. Change is either creating something new or modifying something that already exists. Please put this at the back of your mind. I'm going to remind you in the next 30 minutes. Put it at the back of your mind. Let's move on. The next thing I want to ask is, what inspires change? What initiates change? What triggers change? If you know the answer to that question, please put it in the chat. I want to see you in action. Put the answer in the chat. What inspires change? What inspires change? Akinwale says need. Sylvester said need. Okay. All right. Is there anything else? What if I want to grow? I can decide to change because I want to grow, right? If the competition, okay, money. I like if we just giving it away, money. Money can make people change. Competition can make people change. Trend, thank you. Trend can make people change. And we can go on, right? But you see, all of these things, efficiency, market dominance, we can classify all of those things as need, what we need to create the change. Please follow me. This is interesting. It just got interesting. So please stick with me. So need inspires change. Need triggers change. Need initiates change. So for you to create something new, there must be a need. For you to modify that which was already there must be a need. Question, what is need? I'm going to tell you. Please pay attention. Now, just like we had change, and we looked at it from two perspectives. Funny enough, from my years of practicing as a dealer, I've also seen need from two perspectives. The first is, number one, need can be seen as a problem to be solved. And sometimes it's not always a problem. Sometimes maybe you just want to win a new market. That is not a problem. Winning a new market is not a problem. It's an opportunity. So sometimes it's not a problem to be solved. Sometimes it's an opportunity to be cultivated. So either of these typically would trigger the desire for a change. A problem or an opportunity to be cultivated. A problem to be solved. Now, if you look at those answers you provided, they would fall into this category. They will fall into this category. All right, let's move on. So my question is, are all changes successful? Now, that sounds like a rhetoric, right? It's a rhetoric because it doesn't necessarily need an answer. The answer is known. Not all changes are successful. Not all changes are successful. For a change to be successful, okay, for a change to be successful, it needs to deliver the value and or the intended benefits. If a change needs to be successful, then it needs to deliver value and or the intended benefits. Now, stick with me. I'm taking you somewhere. Now, I want you to look at this critically. I want you to look at this critically. Now, tell me, Was this a successful change? Yes or no? I want you to look at it. And I want you to give me your verdict in the chat. Quickly throw your verdict into the chat. Was this a successful change? Yes or no? Quickly, quickly, quickly. Was this a successful change? Look at it and tell me if this was a successful change. Yes or no? No. I like that. No. Okay. All right. Do you want to tell us the reason why you said no? Just give us one reason why you said this is a no. Can somebody put that in the chat? Why do you think it was not a successful change? Can you give us your reason? Why did you say no? It might look obvious, but I really want you to tell me why you decided to go with no. Greg, thank you. In fact, Greg, I'm beginning to think that you're a B already because you are using the lingua franca. You're using the language, the lingo. You said the requirements were not met. Another person says it did not meet the intended need. Somebody said it did not deliver what the customer wanted. Another person said the solution does not align to the need. I like that. I like that. I like that. Good one, good one, good one. Now, help me look at something. I want you to see something else. I want you to look at something else. Okay, somebody else is typing. Misconstrued. Thank you for that. Oh, I love English. So look at something with me. Now, do you know that even if we had done what the customer explained, it will still not have met his needs? How many of you can see that? That even if they had succeeded, in doing exactly what he said, exactly what he explained, they still won't have been able to meet his need. How many of you can see that? How many of you can see that? Because in the last, in this last spot here, what the customer really needed. Look at this is what the customer really needed. So it then means that sometimes even the customer cannot explain what he needs. Mm. If this was poetry, you see people doing like this. Meaning that I just struck a chord, right? I struck a chord. Look at what the customer really needed. But look at what he explained. Have you ever met somebody who has a problem and don't know how to express his problem? That is why when you go to the doctor is going to ask you certain questions so that he can begin to narrow down what could likely be the issue. This is one of the reasons why a BA is needed. You cannot assume that they know what they want. A BA is needed to do what is called need assessment, where you can ask probing questions to get certain answers from them that can now make you agree to the fact that what they have actually told you is the real need. So you can see here that even when he explained it, the understanding was different. The project leader understood it differently. The engineer understood it differently. The designer designed it differently. The programmer looked at it differently. The salesperson differently. In fact, there was no proper documentation. What operations installed way off. And trust me, look at the way he was built. Crazy. Look at how the help desk supported it. So we can see clearly here that apart from the fact that the customer could not express his very need, the people involved in this project did not understand the mission. They did not understand. They were not aligned. So From this singular picture that I have showed you tonight, from this singular picture that I've shown you tonight, I now want to start helping you understand business analysis. Now, the first thing you would see here is that there is a change that was needed. Somebody had a need and they needed a change for that need. That's number one. Number two, you will see that there are people involved, not just one person. There were people involved. A project leader was involved, an engineer was involved, a programmer involved, operations involved. You know, different people are involved. You will later discover that these are the people we refer to as stakeholders. We refer to them as stakeholders. You will later get to find it. Now, let me move on and begin to show you a few things quickly. Now, if we now move to the context of a business or the context of an organization, whenever there is a change in an organization or change in a business, like what you've just seen, okay? Typically, change in a business or change in an organizational context typically involves different parties. It typically what? Involves different parties, like what you've seen here. So when things involve different parties, one of the things you realize is that they may all come with different minds. They may all understand different things. Let me continue, just hold on. So you see, these parties that come together to carry out the change, they will need to align. They will need to align on the change. They will need to align on the solution. They will need to align on the approach. They will need to align on every other ingredient that molds that change, which is one of the things that was lacking in this thing that I showed you. So when a change occurs, or when a change takes place, it typically, especially in an organizational context, would bring people together. Sometimes subject matter experts, sometimes the business representation, sometimes someone that is a project manager, a developer. They will all come into this project, but they need, for them to be able to be successful, they need to align. Usually, they will come together on what is called a project. So for those of you who have BA friends, business analyst friends, you will hear them brag about project. Because each time they want to put them on a change, they put them on what is called project, because project is the vehicle through which the change will be carried out. Please follow me. I want to make this as simple as possible. Project, you see that thing called project? Like you guys are coming to training now. Okay, I'll give you a project. What I'm simply doing is that I am putting you in a position, I'm giving you a vehicle to carry out a change for me. I will tell you, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, and I will name that thing a project. You will come into that project, and then you carry out the change. So these parties that are involved in the change, they will come together on what is called a project. This project is a sequence of tasks that must be completed to attain an outcome. That outcome that they are pursuing is actually the change. So my question to you, who will help these different parties align on the components of the change? Who will help them align on the opportunity? Who will help them align on the process, on the needs, on the solution? What is changing, the steps involved? Who will help them align on the difficulties, the product, the problem, the features, the pain points, what we should do now, what we should do later, what should remain? Who will help them align? I think they're now getting the point. The business analyst. business analyst. Now that I have gotten you to this point, let me now introduce to you exactly what business analysis is. Now, I know you've been paying attention for the past 30 minutes. Please spare me another 30 minutes. And I bet you when I'm done, I'll be out of your way. Another 30 minutes. And I will help you break this down. Are we together? Are we together? So let's go to the second lap now. Let's go to the second lap. Okay? Now there will be time for question and answer. So just relax. There will be time for question and answer. I will take you there. There will be time for that. So relax. Okay? All right. So now let's understand business analysis. I take this definition from the IIBA Babok Guide, version 3.0. IIBA stands for International Institute of Business Analysis. Babok stands for Business Analysis Book of Knowledge, just like you have the PMBOK, the Project Management Book of Knowledge. Then it has gone through 3 iterations, 3 reviews. We reviewed it the first time, added some upgrades, some updates, called it version 1. Okay, reviewed it, called it version 2, reviewed it, called it version 3. So that book, okay, I took this definition from there. So let's look at the definition. It reads thus. It's a simple definition, but I'm going to make it even simpler. Business analysis is the practice of enabling change. Now you're smiling because you know what change is, right? Business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs. Now you're smiling, right? Because I told you about that scenario where the need of a particular stakeholder was not defined. He was not even able to explain his need. You see? So let's take it again. Business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Hold that at the back of your mind. And then I'm going to move you to the next step. I have decided to emphasize keywords which will help us understand this even better. Okay? The first word is change. The second word is enterprise. The third word is need. The fourth word is solution. And the fifth is value. The sixth is stakeholder. Throughout the 9 weeks, these are the things that we will be learning. These are the things that we will be exposing. How do you get to deal with these things within business analysis? So let's break it down. Remember that I told you that change is either something new, creating something new, or modifying something that already exists. Now, if you take that and you put that into this definition, what you will have is that business analysis is the practice of enabling something new or modifying something that already exists. Hold on. It means that BAs around the world, if you're a BA, you are called a business analyst. I don't care what project you're working on. It's either in that project you are creating something new or you are modifying something that was already there. Are you getting it now? That when you come in as a business analyst, your job cannot be outside this. It's either you are creating something new or you are modifying something that already exists in an enterprise. Okay, now that may sound like a good word. It may sound like what? A big word. But hold on, okay? Just give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, guys. Okay. Okay, so sorry, I needed to attend to something. So Amma, did you get my message there? Amma, can you confirm you got my message? Did you get my message, Amma?
Yes, I got your message.
Yes, please help me with it. All right. So business analysis is the practice of enabling change, meaning you are creating something new or you are modifying something that already exists in an enterprise. The question is, what is enterprise? Because many of us, we see some of these big words and all of a sudden we forget it's English. We forget it's English. Okay, so let me help you. Enterprise is either an organization or group of organizations. That's what an enterprise is. An enterprise is an organization or group of organizations. Question: what makes up an organization? What makes up an organization? What makes up an enterprise? Their product, their processes, the people, their policies, their technology or their tech stack, and other subsets of the organization is what makes up an enterprise. It therefore means that if business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise, we get the point now. It means that in an organization, if you are a BA, you will either be creating a new product or modifying one that was already there. It's either you will be creating a new process or modifying that which was already there. Maybe the process was inefficient. Maybe the process was redundant. Maybe the process was cumbersome. Maybe the process was a subset of a fragmented process. You see, you are trying to create a new process or modify the one that was there. I know the next one may shock you. How do you create new people? How do you modify people? Let me shock you. Do you know that? Do you know how people change? They change through words. I hope you know that. When you say you change people, you change them through words. And words can be given during training. So a BA can be responsible for training. How many of you have looked at job description for a BA and you see where they say training? You will train them on how to use it. Because when you train them on how to use a new product, you are developing a new set of persons, a new people, so to speak, that will be able to run that particular software. So that is how you create a new people, just in case you are wondering. It's through training, through training. So basically, you are changing products, you are changing processes, you are changing people, you are changing policies, you are changing technology. They could be changing their tech stack, their content management system, you see, their customer relationship, management system. They may be changing it from one ERP to another ERP. See, they may be changing from one ERP to Rossmond ERP. You know, you guys need to check my friend Rossmond on LinkedIn. Okay, he's a great guy. He's always on every of our stuff. So they may be changing their ERPs. That ERP means enterprise resource, planning. All right. Okay. So now you understand that. If you take that and put that in the definition, you will have something like business analysis is the practice of creating something new. That something new could be a product. That something new could be a process. That's something new. Could be, policy, it could be technology, it could be anything, or modifying it. Let's continue reading. By defining needs. So, meaning that the first thing you need to do in business analysis is to understand the need. Are you seeing that? So, if there was somebody to understand that guy's need, he wouldn't have run into that problem. So, the first thing is to define the need. And I told you something about need. Need is either the problem you're trying to solve or the opportunity you are trying to what? Cultivate. Either the problems you're trying to solve or the opportunities you want to cultivate. If you take that and put that into that definition, you will see that business analysis is the practice of enabling a new product, a new process, a new policy, a new set of technology or tech stack, okay? Or you are modifying it. But the way you do it is by first defining the problem, defining the opportunity, defining the pain point. And by reason of defining the pain point, guess what will happen? Just like that guy, that plumber, remember that plumber that came to the house, that plumber that came to solve your problem. What did he do first? He asked you what was the problem. He engaged with you to understand your need. Now you're getting the point. The BA, for him to understand and define your need, he needs to engage the business. Ask them questions. Look into the file. Look at the document that was presented. Go into the website. Look at the competitor. Do all of these things. We call it elicitation. And I'm going to teach you more in module 3. So, what does the BA do? The BA, what does the BA do? He defines that opportunity, tries to understand it. He defines the pain point. He tries to understand it. He defines the problem. He tries to understand it. But you see where most of you have a problem. Let me tell you where you have a problem. Now, that plumber, he's a professional plumber. True or false? Please, I want you to engage me here. Don't lose me here. That plumber that we talked about, he's a professional plumber. True or false? I want you to put that in the chat. True or false? Because I'm getting somewhere with this. I don't want you to lose me. Now, he's a professional plumber. But while he was coming to your house, does he know the problem? Is he aware of the problem? Does he know the problem? Maybe if they told him something already, right? So maybe they discussed it on the phone. So maybe he may know. But if they just told him, oh, you know what, come to the house, I will tell you about it. He doesn't need to know about it. He will just come to the site, right? He will come to the site. Or if they told him about it, he will now develop the knowledge of that need. Now, what most of you want to do is that you think that a BA should know the problem before being put on a project. No, that's not how it works. It is when a BA gets on a project, that is when he will know. Because he will start asking questions. It then means that a BA doesn't know anything. He is there to use his skill set to gather as much information. He comes into that project empty. He only uses the information that becomes available to him over time. Why am I saying this? It's because of the next thing I want to say, recommendation. Because you think before now that as a BA, you need to be sophisticated in technology. You need to know the moon, the sun, what happens under the earth, so that you can make recommendations. It's a lie. Listen, I worked on a contact lens project. Okay, contact lens for one of the biggest manufacturer of contact lens, and I can say in the world, one of the biggest manufacturers. I know nothing about contact lens. The only thing I know about contact lens is physics. The physics I learned in secondary school about convex and concave lens, the power of a lens. That's it. So where did I get the knowledge that helped me to do my job as a BA? It was when I was digging for the need, when I was defining the need, when I said, "Oh, can you share with me the project brief?" When I started asking questions with the representative of the business, they started giving me information. I started documenting it. Sometimes we will record it. I will go back. I will listen to it. In fact, for those of you who will be joining the program, I will show you some of these things. So as you are collecting information, guess what is happening to you? You are gradually becoming somebody that is knowledgeable. You are gradually becoming somebody who is knowledgeable about that subject. So you are gathering information. You will now get to the point where you and the people you gathered information from, you and your team, you can now sit down and deliberate on this information. And guess what happens? The next step, you can now recommend solution. And that is where people run away. They think that a BA needs to come somebody who is a superman, knowledgeable from the get-go. It's a lie. You see, the project you're going to do here in Skill Garage, do you know anything about it yet? You don't know anything about it. In fact, as at the point where I will tell you the project, you may not know too much about it. You will still rely on me to give you information. Are you getting me? I hope you understand what I'm saying. Please, there's an attendance form. Please just fill in that attendance so that we're able to distribute the recording to those that attended. So please make sure Amma has put in the attendance in the chat. Please fill in the attendance, a simple attendance with your name and email. All right. So we are able to distribute the recording to those that came in. All right. And we'll also be taking notes so that we are giving, maybe if we have a discount, we can look at those who showed up. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Okay. So when you gather this information, when you define the needs, you are now able to recommend solutions that deliver value. The aim of a business analysis task is to deliver value, is to deliver benefits. Okay. Now let's talk about solution. When you recommend solution, what is solution? Solution could be an approach. How many of you have gone to your friend? You've met your friend and you explained your problem to your friend. Sometimes your friend can give you money, which could look like a feature. It could give you an approach. It could give you a design. Sometimes it's a technology. You see? So when we say solution, we are simply saying simple things like an approach. By gathering all this information, you can now say, "Oh, let's use this approach." That is a solution. After gathering all this information, you can now say, "Let's design it this way." That could be solution. After gathering all this information, you can now say, "This technology, Rossmann ERP, will work best for us." That's a solution. After looking at the information, you can say, "These are the features that we need. Let's allow them to sign in. Let's allow them to log out. Let's allow them to be able to manage their accounts." You see, you can now tell the features that they need. Or if you are dealing with a process, you can now say, "This process is redundant. Let's replace it with these steps. Let's take out these steps." In fact, I'm going to give you a coursework where you will have to do the same thing I'm saying now. During the course of the program, I'll give you a coursework where you have to do the same thing I'm saying now. So solution is not hard, especially when you've collected information from these people. The solution will be deliberated on, and an approach will be the result. A design will be the result, or technology or features or steps in that process. So if you take that and put that in the definition, it is simply read that business analysis is the practice of enabling something new or modifying something that already exists in the product, process, technology, etc. By defining the problems, understanding the problem, speaking to people, looking at the resources available to understand the opportunity and the pain point. And then by reason of that, you can now deliberate the solution. And that solution could be a feature, it could be a step, it could be a design, it could be an approach that will deliver value. A business analyst aim is to give value. When a business analyst is brought on a project, the aim is to give value. Whatever he does brings benefit. He does not work on a project to make it bad or make it worse. His aim is to make it better. And that is why on your CV, on your resume, I know some of you want to hear that, eh? On your resume, you know what recruiters want to see? I will tell you tomorrow. I will tell you. That is why they want to see the benefits that you brought to that company when you were doing. Did it increase efficiency? Did it allow them to be able to gain more clients? Did it save them cost? Benefits. So this is where you need to, some of you write different kind of things on your CV. I elicit retirement. You want to see your impact, the benefits that you brought. I'll leave that for another day. I'll leave that for another day. Benefits to what? To stakeholders. Now, we'll talk about stakeholders some other time. Stakeholders refers to everybody and anybody that is affected or that affects the project. That is whom is referred to as your stakeholder. So if you put everything together, I can give you a skill garage definition of business analysis, which will read something like business analysis is the practice of enabling something new or modifying something that already exists in a product, in a process, in their tech stack, you see, in the people that work in that organization, by defining the problem they are going through, the opportunity that is available to them, the pain points that they're experiencing, and then recommending features, steps in the process, design, approach that deliver benefits to everybody and anybody that is affected or that affects the project. If you understand what I have just said, everything that I've said, if this makes sense to you, please put yes in the chat. Please, if you're asking a question, use the Q&A box to ask your question. Use the Q&A box. Does this make sense to you? If this makes sense to you, please put yes in the chat, quick. Especially for those of you who are new, put yes in the chat if this makes sense to you. If this is making sense to you. Put yes in the chat. Somebody says, do you need an external research to be able to come up with solution for the need? It depends on the project. Sometimes you have to do what is called primary research. Sometimes you have to do a secondary research, okay? So it depends on the project that you're working on, okay? Sometimes you need to do that to be able to understand more about the solution that would fit that need, okay? And we will talk more about that in module 3. In module 3, I explain all of the avenues, okay, where you can get the solution that you want, okay? All right. Now, in conclusion, in case you didn't hear anything I said, business analysis has one or more of the following elements. Number one, need assessment. You will analyze what is the current state of that business. What is the current state of their problem? What is the opportunity? You try to understand it. Okay? You try to understand it. You ask questions so that you can know what they want in their future state. So need assessment is one of the things that you'll be doing. The second thing is stakeholder engagement. You'll be engaging stakeholders as part of the work that you will do. You will identify them, you will analyze them, because there are some stakeholders that you don't even talk to every day. There are some that you talk to every day. There are stakeholders that only show up when you have a demo. So you will identify them, analyze them, and then know where their interests lie. And then that way you'll be able to collaborate and communicate with them. Okay? Now, the third thing that you will do is elicitation and confirmation. Okay? Elicitation and confirmation. You will plan and prepare requirement elicitation, and elicitation can be done in several ways. You can elicit through an interview. You can elicit through research. You can elicit, okay, through brainstorm sessions. You can elicit through workshops. You see, joint application development sessions. We are going to talk more about that later. So you will elicit requirements, and not just eliciting requirements, you need to confirm those requirements before they go into development. Remember, you are the middleman between the business and the implementers. So you need to make sure that what you have received is confirmed before they go ahead to implement it. Okay? So this will be one of the things you do. Requirement analysis and documentation. How many of you saw that which I showed you initially? That picture I showed you. There was no documentation. No wonder that project failed. As a BA, you would analyze the information that you got, break it down, examine it, synthesize it, clarify it to further understand it, complete it, and improve upon it. And then you will document it for reference. Because you may leave the company tomorrow. When you leave the company tomorrow, how else will they continue from where you stopped? Or if you are coming to the company, you will have something that will be a reference point from the previous BA, so that you can now know what has been covered and what has not been covered. Also, traceability and monitoring. Things change over time. If they told you that this is what they wanted then, maybe market change or market trend can cause it to change. We need to be able to trace that information, update it accordingly, and monitor it as it goes, as that information evolves. This is part of your business analysis effort. Lastly, but not the least, solution evaluation. So when this change has now been, put together, some part of what you do will be making sure that it is in consonant, it is in agreement, it is congruent to the requirements that you've gathered. You see, you validate and verify. You see, either a segment of the solution or the full solution. So the question is, who is a business analyst? Before I answer who is a business, I know you already know. You already know who a B is. By sitting on this call for the past 1 hour, I think you already know that answer. But there's a reason why I'm taking you here. Okay? Now, I see that some of you are asking some questions. I will attend to your question towards the end. Okay? I will attend to your question towards the end. Who is a business analyst? Who is a business analyst? Now, there's something I want to bring your attention to, so pay attention quickly. In the Babok guide, a business analyst is defined as any person who performs business analysis tasks. You see, like the ones I just told you about, that perform business analysis tasks, irrespective of their job title. It doesn't matter the job title or their organizational role. It therefore means that there are some of you that are coming to this program. If you have done a business analyst task in your role. The only problem is that they did not call you a BA. They called you a banker. The only problem is that they didn't call you a BA. They called you a teacher. The only problem is that they did not call you a BA. They called you a geologist. The only problem is that they didn't call you a BA. They called you an engineer. So you that you don't have a BA experience. Let me shock you. In week 4, I'm going to tell you how I used my lecturer experience to get my first job as a BA. My lecturing experience. How I use my lecturing experience to get my first job as a BA. Many of you are sitting on gold. You do not know it. And that is why sometimes you need a mentor. You think we exaggerate when we say you need a mentor. Some people have gone through the road you want to go through. They can help you. I had a mentor. KG Giwa was my mentor. You see? And now we are in the position to be able to mentor others. In fact, tomorrow, I would take one person from the class. I will listen to their experience and I will give you a practical BA experience from them live on the floor tomorrow. So don't miss tomorrow because you may be that lucky person. Okay? I'll give you a project you can use in an interview on Monday. Live and direct. A project you can use from your experience, nothing else. From your experience. You can use it on Monday to get a job on Monday if you have an interview. So let's go on. So it means that if you have ever added value to an organization or a process, whether by driving change, you've improved the business process, you've helped to launch a new product or service, you've improved the current state of a product or service, you've helped the business to maximize profit and save costs, you've helped the process to be more efficient, you've helped the business to gain competitive advantage, you've recommended solutions to prevailing business problems, you've helped the business maximize opportunities by entering a new market. If you've done any of these things and more, I can't even mention them here, and more. Tomorrow I'm going to show you some CV, some resume of people you would never think their resume could be a BA resume. I will show you how they took, a financial accountant, a finance manager in a pet store, how we used his finance experience, how we helped him to convert that experience to a BA experience. And he was getting interviews almost every week. You are sitting on a grave. So if you've done any of this, man, you are a business analyst. You are a business analyst. Now let's go back. There are nine things that I outlined there. 9 things that I outlined there. Now, I want you to score yourself. If you've done 1 out of this 9, put 1 over 9. If you've done 2, put 2 over 9. If you've done 3, put 3 over 9. If you've done 4, put 4 over 9. Quick. Put that in the chat. Put that in the chat quickly. Please make sure to fill the attendance form. Very important. Amma, you can reshare that. Put that in the chat quickly. 7, 4, 9 over 9, 6 over 9. Can you imagine? So many BAs here. 9 over 9, 6 over 9, 8 over 9. Can you imagine? Wow. Okay, let me begin to round up. So let me talk about the roles and responsibilities of a BA quickly, and then we'll take questions and we'll end it there. So roles and responsibilities of a BA. So from all that I've said, you will justify the need in some cases. Okay, I will explain that later. It has to do with business case. You will justify the need, you will define the needs, the current and the future state. You will manage the stakeholders. You will facilitate meetings. You will gather requirements, understand the pain points of users, the gaps. You will question requirements. You will challenge requirements. Yes, sometimes you will challenge the requirement. Yeah, you will. You will confirm the requirement. You will analyze it. You will document it. You will communicate it. You will help the team and stakeholders to understand it. You will monitor and track the changes as things evolve. You will test the solution to see that it ensure that it meets the requirement. And at the end of the day, you are enabling a successful team. That is what you do as a BA. So now you can see why this project failed. No proper documentation. Nobody to help the people aligned. Nobody to do the needs assessment and be sure that this guy is interpreting and saying the right thing. How will the project be successful? So they need you. Companies need you. As long as there is change, they need you. Now, the next question that I have before I go is, do you need to be techie? Do you need to be a tech whiz to become a VA? The long and the short answer is no. Tomorrow, I will expand on this. I will tell you why the answer is no. Okay? I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to tell you why you can actually advance in this space without necessarily being a techie guy. Okay? All right. The short and long answer is no. But while that is true, while it is true that a BA does not need to be technical, a BA needs to understand certain concepts. The BA needs to know how to use certain tools. The BA needs to employ certain techniques. The BA needs to deploy certain skills. It needs to deliver certain artifacts to get the job done. That's why you are here. So that we can help you understand the concept. So that we can help you know how to use the tool. So that we can help you employ the techniques. So that we can help you deploy this skill on a live project. And as you deploy the skill, you are also going to deliver the artifacts that you will deliver on a real job. Tell me how you won't be able to get the job done. So that is what I am here for. That is what this bootcamp is for. That is what the next 9 weeks is going to be about. And I'm looking forward to help you. You know how you smear somebody with something that they cannot differentiate you and business analysis. That is my goal. And I'm believing that you'll be bold enough to take that step and join me as I help you unpack business analysis. Now, before we go, I want you to do something for me. Listen, I like to visualize things. If you want to become a millionaire, you need to have the mindset of a millionaire. If you want to become somebody who earns 6 figures, you need to be able to see it. If you want to become a BA, you need to be able to constantly see what a BA does. I remember that while I was trying to transition, I looked at almost 150 job descriptions of a BA more than 10 years ago. More than 100. I was not applying for a job. I was just feeding my eyes with what does a BA, what does it do? And I started checking job description. So I want you to do the same thing because it's going to help you prepare your mind. In fact, as we go from week to week, you begin to see how we are covering these things. Because again, some people have told you things and all you hear was hearsay. I'll give you one of those things. They've told you that you need a certificate to get a job. I have nothing against certificates. Certificates are good. In fact, we are in partnership with people that give certificates. So I am not against certificates. I have certificates, a lot. From the normal degree certificates, 2 masters, PhD, BA certificate, I have certificates. But Have you found that for yourself if that is true? Let me shock you with the statistics. More than 85% of the people who get a job on our platform actually write their certification after they get a job. After they get a job. I'll play a video for you. Tomorrow I have your time. Today I'm out of my space. You see, so I'm trying to finish on time. But tomorrow I have your time. I will show you a lot of things. Okay, so please go and study 40 job description. It's not too much. I want you to look at the similarities and differences. Now, you don't need to do it before tomorrow. This can be in 10 weeks. Okay, as you are learning, maybe if you're on the train, you can just check, go on LinkedIn, check, business analyst, you see, just check the job description. How many of these jobs require a certification? What did they say about that certification? Was it a nice to have or a must have? And what type of certification was required? I want you to do that. The second thing I want you to do is to do the same thing for a product owner role and for a product analyst role. There's a reason for that. Because this course, I'm going to teach you both business analysis and product management or product ownership. So I want you to look at the differences and the similarities between a product owner role and a business analyst role. In fact, for anybody that gives me some good answers tomorrow, I have a reward for you. I won't tell you what it is. I have a reward for you, but you will like it. I have a reward for you. How many of these job descriptions require certification? Was the certification a nice to have or a must have? And what type of certification was required? I want you to do that for me. Okay? Now, tomorrow, when we come, I will do a recap and we're going to take this a step further. For tonight, I'm going to stop here. Okay? And I'm going to take questions. I'm going to answer questions now. So let's see what some people were saying here. As a BA, what are the first things I hope this person is still on the call because it appears to me like they have moved. Okay, they have moved. Okay, as a BA, what are the first things you need to do in practical terms upon joining an organization? In fact, when you join an organization, the first thing that the organization does, not you, is to give you an onboarding. They onboard you. They give you information. Because again, remember, you don't know anything. Even if you're a BA with 10 years of experience, you don't know anything about the project, just like that plumber. You need to be giving information and then you turn the information. So when you get in an organization, to answer that question, you will be given information. And if you're not given the information, you ask for it. So there'll be onboarding, they'll give you a project brief. They'll give you what we call a project brief. They'll give you a briefing. In that briefing, they will tell you certain things. Now, if that project is something you are continuing from somebody, okay, you'll probably have documents, they would share documents to you that you can actually look at. So that will give you the basis, that will help you understand the context of the project. Now, the next person said, need assessment sounds like gathering feedback to understand the issues. Yes, the need assessment is like gathering information to understand the problem. So you are right. Somebody said, would it make sense to ask for organizational charts? No, you don't need it. At that point, is it everybody in the organization that will be on your project? Organizational chart will be a different thing when they are onboarding you in an organization. In fact, you don't need to be a BA before they introduce you to the organizational spectrum or the organizational cadre. You don't need to be a BA, right? Am I right, guys? I mean, if you're an employee in an organization, part of the onboarding, they will tell you the organizational strata, the level that you are. Am I right or wrong? You don't need to be a BA to know that. You see? But on the project, you will have certain people on that project. We call them stakeholders. You will need to identify them. I will talk about that in the next class. Okay. I hope that answers. So let me see if I can see some other questions here. If there are other questions here, just give me a minute. So somebody said, thank you for the class today. I am encouraged, however, I'm curious to know if this class will help us to get certified, what will be the overall cost? You may answer at the end of the class. Thank you. Okay, so somebody is asking for, would they get certified? Would they know the cost and certification? Okay, I'll answer that. The next question says, in an organization, is it just one BA analyzing the project? Typically, in an organization, when you have a project, typically in a project, they typically would have one BA. Okay? Okay, it doesn't make sense having two BAs on a project. It doesn't make sense. What I have seen is that typically on a project, you have a BA. Sometimes they will have a BA and a product owner, depending on if they can categorically differentiate the roles. Okay? All right. So it's not just you won't have, I haven't really seen where you have two BAs on one project. No. Okay. I haven't really seen that. Okay. All right. Okay. Perfect. Now let me now go into a few things here before I round off. I'm about to round off. Okay. So give me a minute. If there are still more questions, please feel free to put that in the chat. I'm just about to round off here quickly. So give me a minute. I'm going to trying to pull something up quickly, and we'll go from there. So please make sure that you so give me a minute. Let me do something. You guys should be able to see my screen, isn't it? You should be able to see my screen. Okay. So just give me a minute. I'm going to deal with that now. This is what happens when you're using just one screen. It's crazy when you're using one screen. Okay. Let's give me a minute. I'm trying to put a few things together here. Have one screen. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for you now. Okay, so this one, I will go through this tomorrow. Okay, I don't have the time now. How to transition and then how to win in the job market. Okay, I'm going to take this tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. So please commit me. I won't go through this today. I'll go through this tomorrow, how to transition. Okay, so that's for you to cover. I'm going to do all of this tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to do all of this tomorrow. And then this one, how to win in today's job market. How to win in the job market today. For some of you may be like, oh, will I get a job? Will I not get a job? I will help you understand how you will win. Okay, how you do to win like the others are doing. Okay, so I will do all of that tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay, I will do that tomorrow, please. Okay. Now, the next thing that I want to show to you is some of you are asking what is the price? What is the price and all of that? Now, like I said, the course will be holding Fridays 7 to 10 p.m. It's Saturdays 4 to 7 p.m. It's a 10-week program. Okay. Now, talking about the course, we will be giving you business analysis, product ownership. We'll give you data analysis as a video course. Okay, and I'll tell you why tomorrow. I'll tell you why. Access to the recordings, okay? The value for all of these things is like 4,999. However, we will only ask you to pay 1,890. For the practical skill, we'll be doing up to 2 live projects if you want. Weekly sessions, project guidance, and we'll build a portfolio of experience. It will even help you use your previous experience. Now, the value for that is huge, but we'll give it to you as an add-on. It's an add-on. You don't need to pay for it. Now, the coaching, you have your resume clinic, not resume fix. Resume clinic is a clinic, one-on-one. Interview session, one-on-one. Okay? General coaching sessions, interview prep video. You have an interview question bank. I know how much you will typically pay for these things, right? But we'll give it to you as an add-on bonus for coming on the call and for choosing us. And then, like I told you today, somebody reached out to me and I just had to reach out to an alumni in CIBC. We have a network of people, a community that can help you achieve your goal faster. So you need something in RBC, you can have that in our network. We have somebody that sends us jobs from Calgary, okay? And we have all of this networking stuff that we can help you with to get to your goal faster. You pay $0 for that. And then I cannot overemphasize support. The need for a backbone when you are transitioning. Okay. From career counseling to emotional support, trust me, people get rejections every day. On the job support when you get a job, so that you don't get hired and get fired. And then motivation for the role. All of these will cost you nothing. So what you pay in Canadian dollars, this is all in Canadian dollars, is 1,890 Canadian dollars. Now, you can make a one-time payment or a three-time payment. And we are going to give you a discount for it. Okay? So for those of you who are going to take an action as soon as possible, okay, we are going to give you a discount for you. So if you're making a one-time payment, we'll be giving you at $1,512. That is 20% off. If you're making a three-time payment, we're going to give you a 15% discount. So you get to pay $535.50 for your per month. All right. So we are giving you this discount. We're going to talk more about it tomorrow. So if you're looking to take a step, take that step now. Remember, I started with the saying that the difference between who you are now and who you want to be is what you do today. Simple. Okay. Now, if you want to talk a little more, okay, if you want to talk a little more about this, there is a meeting link in the chat. Click on that link and book a time with a learning advisor. Somebody that can, so you can pick some time here, okay, and then you can talk to us. If you're still sitting on the fence, you want to know more, okay, tomorrow I'm going to walk you through the curriculum. I'm going to walk you through everything we're going to be giving you in the curriculum. Okay, so you can see this is our brochure. I'm going to walk you through all of that. It's taking some time to load. So I'm going to walk you through our brochure tomorrow and everything we're going to be giving you in the course of the test. So tomorrow, make sure that you come around. So that will be all for tonight. If there are any more questions, I'm able to take those questions. I'll be able to take those questions tomorrow. Thank you so much for everyone that came out. I hope I answered all of your questions. Now, if I didn't answer your question, come tomorrow, I will answer you. But tonight, we are there. And I hope you gained a lot for coming out. If you think you learned one or two things, put yes in the chat before we go. The last yes. If you learned something today, put yes in the chat for me quickly. You learned something today? Yes. Okay, now if you're also looking to make that payment, you can go on our website, scroll down, click on get discount. Okay, you will go to the page. Now, for one-time payments, you can use off 20. Apply the coupon and then make your payment. For three-time payments, you can use for three-time payments off 15. You use off 15. Apply the coupon, and then it will reduce the cost, and then you can agree to the terms and then enroll and make your payment. Okay. Thank you so, so much. Again, I will put this just in case you need, just in case you need this. That is the link to make payment. Now, make sure you join the WhatsApp group. Everything will be posted to you in the WhatsApp group. Okay? The link for the payment, the link for everything will be posted to you in the WhatsApp group. So, Amma, I don't know if you want to do that and give them the WhatsApp link before we go. Before we go, just quickly drop the WhatsApp link for me. If you want to quickly drop the WhatsApp link for me. Thank you. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And I will see you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is 4 p.m. and I will take you through a lot tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming around, and good night. Bye now. Okay? Good night.